All right, here's something most people in the United States have never heard about. There's a country in Southeast Asia where regular working people, farmers, street vendors, construction workers, grandmothers, have been using gold as their primary savings account for over 100 years. Not a bank account, not a brokerage, gold. Worn on their wrist, hanging around their neck, carried to work every single day. And right now, that country's gold market is moving so fast that it's actually breaking the national currency. Bloomberg's covering it. Reuters is covering it. The Bank of Thailand held an emergency press conference about it, and it's just a wild story. And the reason this matters to you, even if you've never set foot in Thailand, is hiding at the very end. So hey, stick with me. First, a little history. Bear with me, it's worth it. Back in the late 1600s, waves of Chinese immigrants started arriving in Thailand. They were fleeing famine, poverty, and a government they just didn't trust. When Bangkok became the capital, the Chinese community settled in a neighborhood along the river called Yaowarat, and today, one of the largest and most famous Chinatowns in the world. These were everyday working people starting over from scratch. Carpenters, fishermen, street vendors. They didn't have much, but they brought something with them that turned out to be incredibly valuable. A bone-deep distrust of paper money. That's not as crazy as it sounds, right? I mean, centuries before the Ming Dynasty had printed money to pay for wars and building projects, and then printed more, and then more, and even more, until one day, ordinary people who had worked their whole lives woke up to find their savings were basically worthless. Now, Chinese families did not forget that. They passed the lesson down through generations. Paper money is a promise. Gold is a fact. You can't print it. You can't destroy it with a government decision. A gold coin looks and feels exactly the same in your hand as it did in your grandmother's. So whenever Chinese families went, they basically took that belief with them. By the early 1900s, Yaowarat Road in Bangkok, still nicknamed the Golden Road today, was lined with gold shops, over 40 on the main street alone, and more than 130 in the surrounding neighborhood. The most concentrated collection of gold shops anywhere on earth. These weren't fancy jewelry stores, they were the local bank, a place where a street vendor or a rice farmer could walk in, buy a little gold, and know that her savings were safe, not in a computer somewhere, but on her wrist, in her pocket, real and solid and hers. And the way Thailand set up its gold market is unlike anything else in the world. So here's where it gets interesting. How Thai gold actually works. Every morning at 9 a.m. in Bangkok, a group of people called the Gold Traders Association of Thailand sit down and set the official gold price for the entire country. Not a suggestion, not a range, one price, and it updates throughout the day as global markets move. So whether you walk into a gold shop in Bangkok, shopping mall, or a tiny family store in the middle of rural Thailand, you pay the same price. No markups, no haggling, no being upsold on a fancy box and a certificate, just the gold. Now here's something that trips tourists up. In Thailand, gold isn't measured in ounces, it's measured in something called a Baht weight. Now, Baht weight is a little confusing because the Thai currency is also called Baht. So, yes, you pay Baht to buy a Baht of gold. I know it's a lot of Baht, but one Baht weight is about 15 grams, roughly half a troy ounce. Tourists sometimes see the price outside a shop, do a quick calculation, and they think they found the deal of a lifetime. Then they realize that's the price for half an ounce, not a full one. Expensive lesson. The gold itself is 96.5% pure rather than the international standard of 99.99%. That's not a cheat, it's smart engineering. Pure gold is extraordinarily soft. Wear a pure gold ring to a rice paddy every day for a few years, and it'll be bent, scratched, and paper thin. A little silver and copper added makes it tough enough to wear for a lifetime while still tracking the global gold price almost exactly. Because in Thailand, gold isn't bought to sit in a safe somewhere, it's worn. Your jewelry is your savings account. And the markup you pay over the actual value of the gold? About 1%. Compare that to a jewelry store in New York or London where the same chain might cost you 2 or 3 times the actual metal value once you add the brand name, the velvet box, the certificate, and the guy in the blazer who calls you sir while looking vaguely disappointed in your outfit. In Thailand, you're just paying for the gold and that's it. Quick pause here. If you're finding this interesting, this idea that real people in other parts of the world have been quietly using gold as a savings tool for generations, Goldco has put together a free gold and silver kit that goes deeper on exactly how this works, including how Americans can do something similar inside a tax-advantaged retirement account. It's free, no pressure, no obligation. Click the link below or call the number on your screen. Now let's talk about why this quiet little gold market in Thailand just caused a national financial emergency. What happened in 2025? Gold had a historic year. It rose from about $2,600 an ounce at the start of 2025 to over $4,300 by October, its biggest annual gain in 46 years. Bullion Vault tracked the full year gain at 65%. The World Gold Council counted 53 separate all-time price records set during the year. The reasons are not complicated. Tariff wars, geopolitical uncertainty, a weakening dollar, and a global sense that paper-backed financial promises are not as solid as they used to feel. People got nervous, and nervous people usually buy gold. That's been true for thousands of years. In most countries, this just showed up as higher prices at the gold dealer. In Thailand, it was different because over the past decade, Thailand built something remarkable. A network of smartphone apps that let anyone, anywhere in the world, buy and sell physical Thai gold in a few taps. Easy, fast, transparent. Now, when gold started surging globally, those apps went absolutely wild. At peak trading volumes through Thailand's online gold market swelled to something like 40 to 50% of the country's entire GDP. Read that again. A gold app market generating transaction volumes equivalent to nearly half of everything that Thailand produces in a year. That's not a trend, that's a phenomenon. Now here's the problem that was created. When you buy Thai gold, you pay for it in Thai baht, the local currency. So all that global demand for Thai gold created enormous global demand for Thai baht. And when demand for a currency spikes like that, well, the currency gets stronger. The Thai baht gained nearly 9.4% against the US dollar in 2025. Sounds good, right? Stronger currency, happy country? Well, not quite. Thailand's economy runs on two things: tourists coming to visit and factories selling exports to the world. When your currency gets expensive fast, tourists start looking at cheaper destinations. Overseas buyers of your products start doing the same math. Hotels sit empty. Factories cut hours. The people who can least afford it feel it first. So in January 2026, the Bank of Thailand's governor stood up and announced an emergency cap on daily gold trading through apps. 50 million baht per account, per platform, per day, starting in March. Bloomberg reported it, Reuters reported it, the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Thailand, and the Securities and Exchange Commission held a joint emergency press conference. A gold market run largely through people's phones had gotten big enough to force a national government into emergency action. I don't know about you, but I find that remarkable. So what does this have to do with you? Well, here's the thread I want you to pull on. A Thai street vendor figured out 100 years ago that gold was a smarter place to keep her savings than a bank account or a pile of paper money. She wore it to work. She passed it to her kids. They passed it to theirs. In 2025, gold rose 65% in a single year. JP Morgan's research team is projecting it could reach $5,000 an ounce by the end of 2026, with $6,000 a long-term possibility. Central banks around the world are buying gold at historically elevated levels, an average of 585 tons a quarter projected through 2026. Countries, governments, farmers in Thailand, they're all doing the same thing. Now the question is whether regular Americans have access to the same basic idea, protecting a piece of their savings with something real, something tangible, something no government can print more of. And the answer is yes. The IRS actually allows existing retirement funds, an old 401k, a traditional IRA gathering dust somewhere, to be rolled over into a gold IRA tax-free as long as it's done correctly. You don't need new money. You don't need to start from scratch. You just need to know that the door exists. Goldco has helped thousands of Americans walk through that door. They've placed over $3 billion in precious metals on behalf of their customers in real physical gold and silver held in IRS-approved insured storage facilities. And right now, for those who qualify, Goldco is offering an instant match of up to 10% in bonus silver or gold on qualifying orders. It starts with a free gold and silver kit. No obligation, no pressure, no guy in a blazer trying to sell you a velvet box. Just real information in plain English so you can decide whether this makes sense for your situation. Hey, click the link below or call the number on your screen, because if a Thai grandmother figured out a century ago that gold was worth holding, maybe it's time that the rest of us caught up.